If you can't tell, I'm not in my typical setting. I'm at Shelly Belly's house. She just talked about not wanting to be on camera in those clothes. And I was like, no, 4K HD.
Me who was changed into these clothes knowing I'm filming a vlog right now, it's okay.
We are starting a 24-hour readathon from 9 p.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow. I have not done this since high school. Turns out things change after high school, because I was home today and I was like, man, I have vegetables that are gonna go bad in the fridge. I need to get more cat food. Tomorrow night they are gonna be closed. Adult things that you didn't have to think of in high school when you did this kind of thing. I only have, my Kindle says like 2.5 hours left of this, which means I could finish it before midnight, hopefully, allegedly. We have 2 more to unwrap and see what they even are, let alone read them. I'm going to attempt to read all 3 of these in the next 24 hours so that I can just finish them. Because I've been working on these since the end of June and now it's the end of July, so we're overdue.
I've never seen your reaction to opening one of these. This will be the first time I get to see a reaction. And you know what? You saved the worst 2 for last.
Purposefully.
I think you'll get a kick out of them.
We literally have like 4 minutes until go time, so I'm getting cozy. I will update you as I finish these, hopefully. Maybe we'll just fall asleep and then get tired.
Do you mind if we put on some elementary school ASMR? I have to make it seem like I'm actually...
Law and Order theme song. For context, she's reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid. She doesn't just...
I don't just enjoy elementary school children.
Just about on schedule, 2.5 hours in. Shelby's taking a nap. And I just finished my first book, Homebreaker. Now, I just can't get over how, for how long it is, it still feels so surface level. It's a 550-page book that is so geographically focused and not action focused. I wish the characters were more developed at this point, even though it is the first book in a series. It's taken me so long to read this book because it like is not that overly interesting that by the time I finished it, I kind of don't remember why the villain is bad. I'm like, oh, you just didn't feel loved? And so now you want to end the world? Okay, just a normal man, I guess. I still liked the world building. I like the immortal character and like the dynamics of all the people that have to work together that are in this group. I did think that we would have more plot twists than there were, and I think that I just go back to feeling like Victoria Aveyard wrote such an impressive debut. Like Red Queen was so good. I flew through it. The writing style is incredible. Red Queen is YA, but it didn't feel like YA. This I feel like is trying to, I mean, it's still HarperCollins, it's still YA, but I feel like it's trying to be a little bit more mature YA, and it feels like typical YA, if that makes sense. But I wish it was as addicting as Red Queen. I wish it had more twists like Red Queen. I'm giving this grace because I'm assuming in books 2 and 3, once we've already developed the world and introduced the characters, we'll get into that action, but this was slow going. I understand why most of the ratings on Goodreads are like 3 or 4 stars. There's not a lot of 5-star reviews because it just was okay. Like, it was good. It was fine. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Yeah, she's genuinely snoring right now. I thought this review would wake her up. Tootie, should we let her sleep? She sounds sleepy. But I know she wants to be awake because the next thing I have to do is unbox another book. I'm pretty sure I want to read the historical fiction one next. How do you wake up someone who is eeping so hard? I'm gonna yell. Shelby, 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 Shelby. Good morning. Girl, I did a whole book review. I'm 5 minutes into this vlog clip and you've been asleep.
I didn't even realize I fell asleep.
You were napping. Well, it's 11:45. I'm about to unbox a book. I figured you wanted to be awake.
Oh yeah.
Eyes closed. Camera eats first. Oh, there it is. Can you see that? I've almost bought this before. Wait! I had no idea what to expect. I'm actually so excited about this. Turns out blind dates with a book can actually just describe to you books that you've seen around, but you have no idea what they're about. It's called A Horse. Oh my god, not the author photos, her with a horse, me as an author. Okay, 400 pages, tall hardback. I think I can do this in like 6 hours maybe.
You know what I could do in 6 hours?
A nap. A snow cone.
Better than, no, I was gonna say your mother, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Whitney reads literary fiction. The amount that I was complaining that there was no smooching in this My dry spell continues, which is why I saved this for last, because I'm like, I need some smooching to look forward to. I'm gonna get reading. I have no idea what to expect. Genuinely a little bit nervous, because like I said, I haven't read literary fiction in like 4 years. That's probably a lie. It just feels like that. We're gonna get snacks, so then I'll check in. Okay, maybe predictably based on that last clip, Shelby has gone to bed, so I'm alone. But I was trying to get to a stopping point with this book because I have officially made it to 2:03 a.m. I need to pass out. I've been like dozing off, and then I literally was standing up at some points reading this so I wouldn't nod off. Not to say it isn't good. I'm on page 58. The gist so far is that there's a character who's a journalist and a character who is a museum curator, archaeologist, but what's that called when they do bones? She's like a bones specialist at the Smithsonian. There's a perspective of they need to, in current times in 2019, they start doing research on this horse and or this trainer. In general, what it was like pre-Civil War in Kentucky with horse racing and with black men, enslaved men, doing a lot of the training and jockeying. So far, it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying the writing style. It's very beautiful. I'm very stuck on the concept of having several black main characters like experiencing racism and reacting to slavery. This is our author, a white woman. So this was slow going just because I kept having to like stand up and wake myself up, but I'm sure tomorrow it'll fly by because it's getting pretty good. Here's my stopping point for the night. I'm gonna try and sleep for like 5 or 6 hours, setting my alarm right now for 8 a.m. Also, I have not touched my phone since 9 p.m. People are texting me, I feel so validated. However, the top text message I received 31 minutes ago just says, the guy in the porn I was watching made dead eye contact with the camera. It ruined my entire night. So those are the kinds of updates I get from my friends. It is 8:09 a.m. We're ballin'. We're back at it with the white bands. I'm gonna continue reading and we'll see what time Shelby wakes up. Good morning, Toot. He's like, I don't want breakfast. Well, I feel stupid holding up the book because I took the dust jacket off, but it is just under 12:30. I'm now halfway through my book. This feels like it's taking me so long to read, but I am enjoying it. It's just, like I said when I started it, it's such a different pace than what I have accustomed myself to, aka porn. I'm still really enjoying it. I like, obviously, like the focus is on horse racing. Being someone who's like, I don't want to say from the industry because obviously not, but as someone who like enjoys watching horse competitions and obviously has loved horses since I was like, what, 7? I think it's important that we know the history of those kinds of things if you're interested in something, and this is making me realize there's a whole industry that I like was not aware of the history of racism and slavery in. So I'm feeling very enlightened. So in the same token that I'm saying, why is a white woman writing this? I'm also like, okay, but good to know. The thing I've been telling Shelby over and over is that it's good, I'm liking it, but 2 of the perspectives are from black men, and one of them is a guy in like current times dealing with like modern racism, and one of them is like the teenager back in the 1850s who is a slave dealing with the much more obvious and worse racism back then. And a lot of it is making points on racism, especially the modern perspective where he's like, I have to explain things to white people and this is emotional labor for me, which I get and yes, agree. But again, I cannot stop thinking about this is a book written by a white woman talking about like black people's experiences, especially modern. I can't get my brain to shut off and not be a little bit critical of that. But again, I'm also like agreeing with it and learning things. So I don't know what the line is there. I just wanted to point that out if no one else has, because I haven't been on my phone all day today, so I'm dying to look up the reviews for this and see what the opinions are. It's about horses. How can I not like it? I'm enjoying it. I definitely need a brain break because I've been like head down, literally have not touched my phone today, and I need lunch. So I'm considering this like my 10-minute break, and then we'll get right back to it because I think I'm making a good pace. We have 9 more hours left, and I think I could finish this in like 3 or 4, and then hopefully I can read my whole other book in the remaining time. If not, we'll see. Update from Shelby.
I'm on my 6th book.
Well, damn, this book has hands. I just cried twice in 1 chapter. It's only 1:30. I'm only on page 218. I didn't get that much further, but I have now cried. So clearly I'm getting attached to the characters. Oh my god. It's getting to the point where the plot of it is actually picking up rather than just like getting through the world building and the characters thinking about things. There's a lot of action. So we are past the hump of halfway through. I think it's going to be pretty quick going because again, it's getting pretty action packed and all the chapters are ending somewhere where you're like, ooh, what's going to happen next? So it's getting more and more addicting. I'm still freshly crying, but Shelby has the arrows to her on and needs to do the rep. The arrow. You didn't do the there it is.
You're gonna get copyright claims.
Girl, it sounds like it's being filmed on a 2004 Toyota backup camera. Some boys are trying too hard, we don't try it all though. Don't ask me if at any point I'm gonna change my clothes from what I was wearing last night.
Girl, I am going to fall asleep in these tonight. I just did a work thing. I was off cam, but...
Please note that he's laying on my Kindle.
Well, that's what gay men do, right? Homosexual.
Homosexual. Homosexual. Homosexual. Update, I have my pants pulled up to my boobs and I have a bonka bonka. We've entered the sleep-deprived era of the readathon. We call these bonka bonkas lovingly because this is Shelby's favorite flavor of snow cone, and I said it looked like a clown wig, and somehow that evolved into it's called a bonka bonka.
Well, because I sent a picture of it in our group chat one day. Please ignore the size of my bowl, it was all I had. We've had so many snow cones, I've run out of bowls. So I sent a picture of my snow cone in the group chat one day, and I didn't caption it with anything. Whitney's reply was just bonka bonka.
Bonka bonka. We're reading. I just cried again because someone else's mom died, but Narnia soundtrack's still going strong. You can change this if you don't want to listen to Narnia during Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
I'm 25 years old. I'm having a bonka bonka reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid and giggling at fart jokes on a Saturday.
I was wondering what that reminded me of, but I was thinking of, I'm 5 years old, it's getting cold, I've got... $6:15. Done. I'm gonna spoil this. If you want to read this, don't listen to the rest of this review. Basically, this is like headed toward being a 4-star book. I think it was really interesting, and again, because it's a sport in an industry that I'm really invested in, I was happy to learn more of the history around it, especially because like pre-antebellum, slavery was like heavily embedded in horse racing, and that was like a huge pastime. But spoilers, I cannot give this book much more credit than that because I just did not like the tone of it being like pedantic about like white people shouldn't do this. It's like, you are. It felt like a book by white people for white people about black struggles, which rubbed me totally the wrong way. And the reason why I say spoilers is because at the end of this book, the dude who is like a scholar at whatever college is in DC, he gets shot by the police and dies. I'm like, okay, this totally felt like it was pandering for like, this is very current events right now. Like, let me write about this and talk about how bad it is. Are you the right person to tell that kind of story? Like, I was gonna give this 4 stars. Now I think I have to give it 3, if that. Like, it's fine. If this was just a historical fiction book that talked about the horse racing industry, it probably would have been better. But then guess what? I read the afterword. This is based on true events. Like, all of these characters existed, and she's like adding her little flourish to them and like filling in the details of what she thought was happening, because the history about these characters has been lost.
It doesn't surprise me that it was based on real events, but it is weird that she's
like capitalizing on their
trauma.
stories. Yeah, exactly.
I went on Goodreads and it's mostly white people like reviewing it. Like
Yeah.
now granted, I was basing it on profile pictures, and there are some that don't have like pictures of faces,
It's like
but
anime.
the pictures of or like a car.
Yeah.
But like the people or the reviews that had people's profile photos on them were mostly white, like middle-aged or older.
This totally
white men
feels
and women.
like Kristen Hanna kind of audiences.
This is like Where the Crawdad Sings.
Yes.
And middle-aged older woman book club, which is how I found out about the book, because my grandmother was reading it for her book club, and she said something. It was like it was really hard to read because of obviously the content in it.
Like, this was totally up my alley. Like, I would have DNF'd this if I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I read it in a day. It took me like 7 hours straight. It wasn't bad or hard to read. Like, the writing is pretty. I wouldn't not read from this author again. I just cannot get over. I'm like, it's not your place to tell this story. There was so much commentary on like how to be a black man in America. I'm like, you are neither of those things. She's not even American. She's Australian. I'm like, why are you making commentary about like the American South?
Crazy.
She's born and raised in Australia. Like, girl, this is not your place.
It feels like a white savior story about
Yeah.
the history of black struggles.
Yes.
When there's enough content in the world that is from black voices that will tell you more about black struggles than that. Now, granted, it does have the interesting undertone of like the historical side of things with the history of horse racing. I don't know, it just felt like a white savior approach to capitalize on something. And I would think a story like that would be written by a black person if you're gonna comment on things like that. Especially in 2020 or whatever, when it was published. Was it 2022?
Yeah.
Like, we know better. We as a publishing industry know better.
Yeah.
Apparently not, because we also have American Dirt.
Apparently, if you win the Pulitzer, you can do anything. So, congratulations, Geraldine Brooks. On that note, I have one more book to read, and we have 2.5 hours left, 3 hours left of this readathon. So let's see how far I can get into whatever this book is.
I'm reading Greg in this book. He's letting all of his decisions be made with a magic 8-ball. Hey friends, if you want to see the entire experience of me reading the entirety of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, that's what's going on right now.
And if you want a preview of what that video is going to be like, it's her picking up the camera and going, I finished book 4, I'm going to start book 5. I finished book 5, I'm going to start book 6.
I tried to give some thoughts, comments, and concerns, but
No, you do.
Okay.
Everyone go watch. I'll link her down below.
I was like, don't make my vlog sound really boring.
No, it's good. Go watch it.
Oh my god, I need to edit a version of it like that and put it up for April Fools. It's like reading the entirety of Diary of a Wimpy Kid in 3 minutes.
Okay, so I'm gonna unbox the 4th one, I think, or 5th one. I think we've already talked about this multiple times in this vlog. It's romance. Gilmore Girls fall type of feeling. And it's a theme I've been wanting to try in a book. I think I'm onto her. I think this is Witches again. I don't remember what the title of this is, but I think I know it. And if it's not what I'm expecting, then it might be totally new to
This
me.
is the one that's accidentally the second of the series.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But it's fine. Bonnie has read a witch book that's the second in like this whole series, so I'm assuming it's that. It is. Okay. I would have never guessed the title though.
The X-Hex, I think, is the first one.
Yeah.
I thought that was the first one. And
The
then
X-Hex.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it was on clearance. So I was like, I had already bought all the other ones, and I saw that one on clearance.
Look how big the words are. Sorry.
Ooh.
I'm like, I can read a book in 4 hours and
Book
not
of the
7
month!
hours.
Book of the month coming through!
So this is about witches. I have no idea what. I don't even know what book 1 is about, so that's probably better that I'm going into it totally blind.
I just hope it doesn't set up like any of. I think I read the first one in that.
I think they're companion books.
I think they're companion books.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to know what happened in the first. I hope they don't set up like the magic witchy system in the first. That's my only concern.
Oh, I'm
But
pretty sure it's all the same. You
I'm
just
sure-
like abracadabra.
I'm sure you
whatever.
could pick like whichever one. Yeah.
Okay. And if you were wondering, yes, Tootie is still sleeping on my Kindle.
Oh.
Product placement. All right, we'll see how far I can get through this. I don't know if I'll update before 9 because I'm just gonna be sprinting. This was fun. I like this.
I'm having so much fun. We need to do this not monthly, but regularly. Maybe
Quarterly.
quarterly.
Calendar
That's
is
why
it.
we're best friends.
All right, friends, we have reached the witching hour. No pun intended. It is 8 o'clock. We have 1 more hour of reading left. I am 100 pages into my book, so obviously I'm not gonna finish it because I have 200 left. But we're gonna see how far I can get. And I got to a scene where someone may or may not be experiencing a boner currently. I haven't read a book with sex in it in like a month, so I'm enjoying my book. How about you?
No.
Okay.
I'm on book 10 of the readathon. I mean, like, when I said no, I was not enjoying it. That's like, obviously I'm still reading them, so I'm not miserable. These books are written for 7-year-olds, and I'm a little older than that. I'm having a good time reading them. I'm just ready for it to be over, because it's the same plot over and over and over again.
See you at 9 o'clock. For reference, we have hit the 9:08 mark, which means it's been 24 hours, but they're currently fucking, so I'll be back with you in about 5 to 10 minutes. In my time. Their time, probably 4 hours. Anyway, goodbye. I sit corrected. They were not fucking. He was just knee deep in the passenger seat eating her out. I made it to just past page 200. It is 9:16, so well past 24 hours. And by well past, I just made a couple minutes past. But I'm the majority of the way through this, or I guess 2/3. And it's really cute and fun. I didn't even give a synopsis because I had no idea what to expect. It's about a girl and a guy, and they're both witches. And the guy is from Wales and the girl's from this witchy town in Georgia, and he moves to Georgia and starts a witchy store across from hers, and so it's like a rivals to lovers. That's about it. There's like weird vibes that they have to figure out why these other witches are being weird. I don't care about that part. I care about the knee deep in the passenger seat. This is not the end of this vlog because I still have to finish this book and review it, but so far it's like real cute, going toward 4 stars. Hey guys! I finished my last book. It is midnight o'clock, 11:45. We're done. I read the whole thing. And it was so cute. I don't ever make time anymore to read low stakes, just cutesy fun romance anymore. I always take romance so seriously. I'm like, she's cringe, that wasn't realistic, he's annoying. And this book wasn't perfect, but I had fun. I guess I'm just like so brain dead from reading for 24 hours straight that I was just like hee hee hee. So even though the writing was like a little bit dumb, it was really nothing special. It kind of also like the first time that they were getting into it, I was like hello? It was a nice little surprise. Because you think it would be like bland and surface level, but then it went deep. What?
I know this bitch that reads monster porn did not say you take romance too seriously.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Name one monster romance book I've rated 5 stars. Exactly. That concludes not just 24 hours of reading, but really a whole month of reading all of these books. And here is the culprit herself who hand selected these books for me. We had some major wins. We had some okays, but I didn't hate anything. So I consider that a success.
What were the major wins?
Tessa Dare.
Oh.
And Realmbreaker.
Realmbreaker was a major win?
Realmbreaker scratched my fantasy itch, and I'm gonna continue the series.
Oh, okay, good to know.
That one's a win because I've also wanted to read it for so long, so I'm happy this helped me prioritize it. That's everything.
Love you, say it back.
Bye, friends.
They want me.
What? I'm so tired. I don't even know what my outro is anymore. Goodbye.